winners for Carrasco on Sunday. Let's see if we can keep up that momentum. We'll talk about that in the last race. Of course, Keith, we're only going to have you for one day this
Wow,
week.
yeah.
You're off. You're off to the Carolinas.
A little Ellery Trials revival. Got to like that down in
I love
Ellery,
that.
South Carolina. Hamilton Smith, his brother's farm. Franklin Gorey Smith, the whole gang. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Great people down there. Been doing it for over 20-some years.
Yes.
And they welcome me with open arms. So
Why shouldn't they?
Looking forward to it. A great day of racing. And, those people, that's like their big spring coming out party. They love it. So we've missed it the last couple years. It's back.
That's so fun. That sounds so fun. So let's just lock you down for what we can get you for this week, which is today. Let's take a look at what we have going on at the lovely Laurel Park. Temps are starting to warm up. We had a bit of a cold spurt after getting teased with that first fake spring.
We did have some really good weather. Nice day today, 44, mostly cloudy. The sun's peeking out. I'll take it, no doubt about it, and see if we can't kind of keep following the trend. We ended Sunday's card on a pretty good note. The latter part of the card, our value plays performed well. We got a win in a second, so hopefully you kind of tie things together. You probably could have taken down that late pick 5, which paid over $1,100. But this is a tricky little card today to get you started for the weekend.
And let's go ahead and dive into that first race that starts at the early pick 5 in that starter allowance. A mile and 16, 2 turns on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Scratching the 3, Captain Cardo. You and I both land on the number 6, Ace 99. Kieran McGee, Carlos Lopez. Let's take a look-see at that effort last time out. Also going 2 turns.
Yeah, Ace 99, very good form with David Howard. Unfortunately, we lost way too soon and again. So definitely rooting for this one, no doubt about it. And Ace 99 did a phenomenal job with this runner off the claim 1. 3 of its last 5. Faced some pretty crack horses over the last couple months. Paradise Pride, a really good horse, a consistent starter type for Ness, but he's very tactical. He can be up close. He can kind of come from a little bit further back. He takes advantage of that rail opening this particular day, goes clear and holds firm. Yes, shorter field now with the scratch of the 3. I expect Cavalry Command to go ahead and go from the inside. Possibly Musical Heart further out.
Right.
Will try to go coming off of that sprint. He's got some back form and back numbers, but I think Ace 99 will be positioned well early and bring a finish against this group.
Including Galatians underneath, now in the barn of Anthony Ferrier. That horse has been jumping around a couple of barns throughout that 2023 season into 2024.
Yeah, he's had some good little runs against Ace 99. He's been right there. You talked about the form. It's been consistent. He's been running kind of for everybody. I think he'll be fine, just really good right here. I think he's doesn't quite have the speed as Ace 99, but I think he'll settle mid-pack, maybe 4 or 5 out of it by the time they hit that far turn. He'll start ramping things up.
Troy Singh just claiming one last time out from McGee. Going to make things interesting here with Raul Mena underneath.
I love this 10-year-old. How can you not? 18 wins, 78 starts. Made almost close to 700,000. Man, he's been great. Interesting. Goes to Troy Singh. So I know Kieran and Robbie Bales, this horse is back, gone back and forth between those 2 barns. They kind of know what makes him tick. We'll see if he can kind of continue his run with Troy. Gets a great spot inside. Might have moved just a touch too soon last time. The X-Man, I can't really fault him. He got the lead.
Right.
Formal order got a great, perfect trip to get it done. But Clubman certainly always a presence in these starters and should be tough today.
6524 for Keith there in race number 1. Let's go ahead to his early pick 4 that he's graced us with us today. There we have it. A single $12. I like it, Keith.
Yeah, nice. I'd like to get the weekend started. Got a big weekend of racing, so yeah, we're gonna have to keep the coffers full. 5, 6, 8, 9 to get you started in race number 2. I think that's not a real easy race. You've got the Philly Happy Union who did well against the boys last time, right back at you in there. Race 3, 2 deep with the 5 and 6. Gary Cap. Come on, Gary Cap. Let's go here in the 3rd. Single in race 4. Princess Mayfair. We'll talk about her in a little bit. Wrap it up in the 5th. 3 deep, 1, 7, 9. That's another kind of a tricky race. Guaponis wasn't off track that kind of really enhanced that run. That's the part that stays. Scratch the 1A Sunset Town out of that Nest entry for a $12 early pick 4 ticket.
I like it. I like it. I like it. A little bit of luck from Keith Fustel there. He's providing it. He's been providing for us lately, and kind of as per usual. Let's start with that first leg in the Claiming 5,000. 4-year-olds and up, a mile, 1 turn. Second wire on the dirt. Scratch in the 1 Bermondsey. We have a new rail horse in the number 2 now. But you go with the number 9, Working on a Dream. Robin Graham. Gina Vello now gets the call.
Yeah, and this is maybe a touch of a reach. I think, should be a fair price. Got a really good ride 2 races back. Now we're back to the mile. The Scratch of Bermondsey, I definitely think, helps the chances, because I think Bermondsey was going to try to stretch this field a little bit. Food Foodie went to Rating Tactics last time. I think he might go ahead and send, but I like Working on a Dream in this spot. Got the jump on a couple of these Steel Money. I think he can do it again at this 1-turn mile, and might try to hang on the last 8th of a mile. I think he's got a chance here at a little bit better price. Happy Union, yes, good right back. Steel Money is a horse, I think, coming from the 6,000 Opens, Galatians, tough starter type of horse right there, back into the condition. It's certainly going to work for him. Needs to time that rally up. I think he's got that move from, I'd say mid-turn, 3/8 pole, this 1-turn mile to sustain it and possibly a major factor here late.
And I mean, you mentioned Galatians. Take a look at how Galatians does in that first race to kind of keep in tie with that. And you include the 5 and the 6. We mentioned Event Party. Hugh McMahon, Carlos Lopez with the blinkers off.
Yeah, this is a tough one to kind of read. This is a horse that's got good back numbers, but they were on the go-go back, right? Major excuse off the long layoff at Penn. Bumped, lost iron early. Okay, we'll give you that one. The last time the speed just kind of carried, got way back. This horse has shown positional speed in the past. Blinkers coming off the drop, positive angles you would think to kind of get this one back on its game. 18% with this kind of move the last 3 years on this 50% droppers on the dirt for Hugh McMahon. 9.856. I'd say Steel Money. I still think might be the horse to beat in race 2.
Hey, there we have it. Race number 3, second leg of Keith Fustel's early pick 4, a maiden special weight. 2 turns now for these 3-year-olds. Let's go ahead and have a chat about your top selection. In Intrepid's Legacy, Gary Cap, Jamie Rodriguez. Why not with this one with the family and, of course, coming out of Gary's barn?
Intrepid Daydream, right? Intrepid Dream.
Yes.
The family is there. It's a win early family. That's the one thing we were discussing about imaginings. They don't win a ton first out. This horse ran credible at $1.50 to 1. Off a little bit slow, into a fast pace, a slight fade, stretching out here, second out. We know how good this barn has been year in and year out. He's 33% as a stat. They're getting a fast track today, and this horse had been working long all along, as Gary likes to do, get those 1-mile works into his horses. So, I think Intrepid's Legacy, when you really kind of look at the race, if feeling down inside doesn't show a lot, I think this one could be right on the engine here for Gary Cap and Jamie Rodriguez. What do you think?
I mean, I see it. So I'm just going, and it's tough because you see me have this one in 4th, and it's like, what are you thinking, girl? And I'm not. The thing is, the 2 on the couple on the inside are just a bit too intriguing. Decent breeding. I actually used to get on the dam a couple of times, so for the number 1.
Oh, okay.
So and on top of that, just a couple of times, she was very aggressive. She was well spotted early on. Winner first time out in her career. I would gallop in company with this filly, with my filly, who was a good second in the Schuylerville.
Okay.
So that's just my personal knowledge coming out with the situation, and you can't ignore. You can't ignore the Pletcher horse. We need to see better. So that's just, and I feel like we will. Just taking a look at a couple of these works leading up into it. So, but I completely see it with Intrepid's Legacy. Just with the field that we saw last time out, it all aligns. I'm just trying to take a chance at some prices.
I'll talk about the 2 real quick.
Yes.
Carlo Rapido. A little improvement. Blinkers coming off. It's been a good move with the maidens for Ty. He just doesn't run a lot of horses here. Last 3 years on the dirt, 3 for 16, 8 for 16, the money on the dirt. Certainly a 67 is a quality, good enough number, decent number, and it should work here. And I think this horse from this position and looking at the rest of the field, shouldn't be too far out of it. So I think Sanchez will try to get this one involved, at least by the time they hit the far turn. Thielen going back to the $1.75 million purchase. I don't know if I've ever seen a firster cost that much here, right? Start its career here in Maryland.
Yes.
And you talked about the breeding. Dam was good, grade 1 winner, multiple graded stakes place. Go back to the second dam. Interesting that I know not getting control. It's here. That's what's surprising a little bit to me.
She's getting chances though.
Yeah,
I think this
no
is it.
doubt, no doubt. So I we'll see what the odds are and everything like that. So looking at that, going to take some money. I think Gary Cap just laying right here with Intrepid's Legacy. All these angles work for him. Let's go to Work Hard and look at its last race too.
You have to respect both. Gary Cap won horses. Here on screen is Work Hard from that last effort out on the 11th of February.
Yep, second off the break, first time Lasix, stretching out, first time going a route of ground on the main track, and all things considered, ran very well because of this. Down inside tracking is nudged along a little bit to hold position, but unfortunately, Fluff the Pillow just backs right up into him, and he has to hesitate, steady, wait. Everybody else is in full gear. What did he give up? 3, 4, almost 5 lengths?
I would say 4 or 5.
Yeah, from the 3/8 pole to the 5/16, and I love this finish. He works outward through the final 1/8 of a mile to finish up well. Breeding suggests, yes, long is okay. Third off the break. What's this? Third off the break, 60. I can't even read my writing. 60 to 180 days. He's been 37% with these kind of runners on the dirt the last few years. I like that. Gary Cap. I'm going to key around him here in race 3. And don't leave out no Fool and Mo. This is an interesting little move. Hammy Smith, you're looking at the numbers. You're saying, not really kind of not there. Maybe they're gearing this up and protecting for the turf a little bit later because there's definite turf there. But gelding, Lasix, lots of angles to like. A horse that ran pretty well against Catalahula Moon in debut is going to offer value there in the race 3. So you've got 2 outfits, Russell and Pletcher. You would expect a good amount of money to pour in. I'm going to kind of slide elsewhere to try to get a better price.
No. It's of course this is a nice maiden special weight field. You absolutely have to respect the Gary Cap entries. A lot to offer in that third race. Let's go on to race number 4, though. This is your third leg, and this is an allowance optional 62.5 for the straight 3-year-old fillies. Also going 2 turns here today. Keith, let's talk about the number 2, Princess Mayfair. You have a nice stat on Steven Cherkop, Julio Hernandez.
Yeah, last 2 years, 5 for 18, 28%, 8 for 18 in the money. Blinkers on angle, ROI 438, really good. And we've seen no blinkers to blinkers on this filly before. It's worked. Excuse last time in New York on that sloppy track, a little fractious popped the gate, and it just got hustling along against a deep field and just didn't have it. The Lasix goes back on today. That 2-back try was good. Broke a little awkward. Was able to clear some other speeds early enough, dropped over, and when it met the bid was really game. Was 9 clear of a graded stakes type placed horse. I think that was for Kenny McPeak. But good effort here. I think with a good break, she's the controlling speed. Salty Girl may go ahead and go, but I think if she breaks clean, she's going to be able to control things up front with all those angles working in her favor. I'm a Cutie Pie, your top selection. Can't knock her. A 3-time winner will go to that last race. And another one that's kind of pretty versatile. With this outer post, you saw the sluggish fractions last time. Track a little bit slower that day. She was able to get position, stalking, and then works outward here.
Tough. To
the quarter pole, and then widens. So she's got the route under her belt. She looks like you can kind of put her somewhere within range, and she's going to bring that finish. I'll be interested to see how Carlos Lopez handles the run into the first turn. Will he kind of try to use her to get position? Irish Rage just to the inside of her, and battling time. I'm a Cutie Pie might be a little bit quicker early, so that shouldn't be too much of a hindrance today, that 7th post.
I think you're right on that. So you also just touching on Perfectly Wicked. Yeah. Another play underneath. Again, interesting field.
Yeah, Perfectly Wicked works. I know she's going to bring a finish in here. A little even versus a little bit slower flow 2-back. The Lasix coming back on certainly I think the mile and 16th is well within her. Call another play. The improvement last time. She sat a great trip, though. She got that flow. But I like the little protect move here for Trombetta getting J-Rod.
2173, Keith Fustel, race number 4. His last leg, he goes 3 deep on, and it is that also starts that Rainbow Pick 6. We have a nice little carryover, 5,000, just over 5,000. Definitely going to be on its way to 6 or 7 by the time we get to race number 5. My tickets, see, I couldn't key in too much on a single horse for this, and that's what that's what cost me. So, to me, the whole card, I'm not saying the whole card is a head scratcher, but it's sure looking like it right now. $28.80. Of course, race number 9, I can't wait to see that 256. I go 3 deep. But let's go back to race number 5 in that claiming 20,000, going 7 furlongs on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Key scratch to me, Keith, in this uncoupled entry in the 1A Sunset Town is a scratch. Now, you gear on the number 7, Trash Talkin' Larry, now in the barn. Victor Carrasco keeps and retains the call for this one.
Yeah, I mean, protect move here. Ness going up off of a win, certainly dangerous and has that speed. But Trash Talkin' Larry getting back to 7/8 of a mile. I kind of like that run on the go back against the grain. I know we're going back to October. Got that flow, closed up, Big Rowdy Dan. We've seen him run some good races in the past. A little middle move into that slower flow. The key is to me, I need 23:46 and some change maybe here, and a little bit of a contested pace. But I think at 10-1 is worth taking a shot here in race number 5. Corrales at a price is always worth giving an extra look. I think Carvelian Quest, another one. Third off of a break. Improved last time. This horse has flashed ability. Don't know what to make. Chavez we get today. Pretty good internals, but out of a strong race last time out is enough. I think if he's right, he's going to be kind of just sitting outside of Guapo-ness. I think he'll be tracking that one once they leave the 3/8 fold. Hopefully Chavez is there loaded and locked up and ready to go and make a move into this flow. But Guapo-ness, I think the race is going to go through him. Yes, improved number, much improved number on that slot, but visually look very good. I think he can come back. I didn't excuse 2 races back here at Laurel.
You know me, Keith. I love the visual. You also go with that away, Phil Capuano, to wrap things up here. And we will be right back after this commercial break to talk about the rest of Friday's card here.
Thoroughbred Racing is taking vital steps to make our sport safer. These include the use of independent veterinarians, strict anti-doping and medication controls, and a single national authority empowered to create uniform standards and enforce reforms. With each step, more data is gathered, accountability demanded, and progress made as safety takes the lead. Visit ntra.com/safety for more.
Late Pick 5 starts with also the Jackpot Super High 5. Carryover just getting about to $5,000. Here we go. Maiden claiming 12.5, 7 furlongs on the dirt for the straight 3-year-old. Proper Jackpot Super High 5 field. Scratches of 3, 6, and 10. Keith, you go with the number 9, Coronation Time. I like this move. I had this horse actually a bit further up on my picks. Hammy Smith, blinkers on, Javian Toledo.
Yeah. I just think the blinkers on angle has been working. You get some of these maidens for Hammy. Recently we've had some stretch out and run big, but Coronation Time looks like a horse that just needs that wake-up call. I like the company that he's kept. I think he's going to be okay here. Dropping back, there's enough questionable flow in here. Big scratch in that 3, who I thought was going to set up pretty brisk pace, but Coronation Time from a man, Lee Christian. I'll see him down there tomorrow. He's always been a mainstay running horses at the Ellery trials. Good to see. It'll be good to see Lee again. So there's my hunch play, Coronation Time. Why not?
Like it.
But I do like the angle. You've seen this of late. That ROI is strong for Hammy.
There we go. I love it. Let's also go with the number 2. Not this time. Randy Carlos Mancia, Royal Mena, running well. Now taking it, just a little bit longer.
Took him a little bit to get going last time, but you see those internals. He was gifted up in front, 22-1, 46-2. They were going at it, but I tell you, he finished okay. The thing I didn't like, he stayed on that left lead till I think like the last couple strides. get second Lasix, second off of a break. If things get heated, yes, 7/8 looks like it's going to hit him right in the head.
I also have the 8 and the 5 in. I had enough. Kickstartness, Jerry Robb, Jamie Ness, kind of just solid ones to have amongst your picks.
Yeah, 7/8 might just work perfectly for I had enough. Was discussing this one with Rodman earlier. I said, who do you like today? He said, I really like I had enough. And I said, I had enough account of him last time. I thought he was going to be in a great spot to go ahead and get it done. Hence, they're going to drop now. Probably a little bit of frustration, but that two-back try, I'm going to give him another shot. Alternate in, hemmed in. I think we might have showed that. He's got the right kind of speed in here to make that first run. I think landslide is home. Kickstartness, he'll kind of try to spy those two and then go into it and bring a finish.
At race number 7 for that late pick 4 is an allowance going for the girls 4 and up.
Okay.
Taking a look at your top selection, the number 8, Ninja Abario, here in the barn of Bruno Tesori, Carlos Lopez. Of course, you have to respect this horse amongst your picks.
Well, kind of a lot of ways to go here. This is a tricky
There
little,
is. Thank
tricky
you,
little
thank you
leg
for,
other
Thank
than.
you for saying that because
Yeah.
I looked at this horse and I'm like, why is this horse? Again, because, of course, you're driving through these races and I'm like, yes, I did miss this horse. But, yeah, this is kind of how this race goes.
Yeah. First horse, Berzina looks like the horse to beat. We'll come back to her. But Ninja Abario, she's made these moves. She's made these quicker moves in the middle of the races and just getting beat. Going to need a well-timed ride from Carlos Lopez, but I think this pace is just going to be what the doctor ordered. She'll be able to settle back, draft about probably 6 or 7 out of it into the turn, and then ramp things up. Berzina, Hide Right Away. Hide Right Away is fast, and this one got in a lot of trouble last time out of the gate. Stumbled, bumped, moved up, made a couple different moves in that race just to fade late. But I think at some point, probably 3/8 pole to the quarter, you're going to see Hide Right Away and Berzina. They're going to get together and get in their own little battle. So I'm looking for Ninja Abario to be the beneficiary of that. Turning back at 7/8, 4 for 5 in the distance at 7. This horse has kind of come back in very good form for Tesori and has been holding form. 7/8, I think, is just what might be up her alley today to get her over the top because she's looked like winners the last 2.
And you also you mentioned the 5, and then you also have the 6, Hide Right Away. You also mentioned Flower Dew, Lacey Gaudet, Thais Lai Pustina.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that replay from last time out.
Yeah, this was a sneaky good effort off of the maiden score, beating Riley G. Riley G came back to win, didn't run as quick as what I thought, but again, Flower Dew stretched out to 2 turns, which might have been a little bit of a reach. I was trying to kind of get her there, but she kind of had to steady, wait, got held up. They were going pretty quick early, but this race has become productive. Ninja Abario in there, we're seeing. So Flower Dew back to 7. You saw her lurking. Again, she can get Poe by mid-turn, and I think 7/8, she's going to bring a little bit stronger finish than what she had here going 2 turns.
Oh yeah, I mean she was trying and she just did not have a helpful trip at all whatsoever. So there we have it. Keith Fusel 8-5 6-3 in race number 7.
Throw you a stat for Ness there on Berzina.
Why not?
I mean, she likes 7/8. Hide Right Away does too, but Ness last 3 years on the dirt sprinting with these fillies and mares, second off the claim, 41%.
There we have it. Race number 8 is an allowance optional 62.5 going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the straight 3-year-old. Scratching the 1. Keith, you go with the number 5. Play Harder. Let's take a look at that one and only effort from Claudio Gonzalez. Torrealba takes the call.
What an effort it was. Inside post in a big gaudy field.
Doesn't break.
Walks out of the gate. We're going to watch this one more time. Hesitation time for Play Harder. And, yeah, you kind of look at this field. You look at his buyer speed figure. You're like, nah. But, again, you talked about liking the visual. How can you not like this effort? This horse made like 2 or 3 different runs throughout the race. Yes, was able to kind of get behind a contested pace when it really matters here mid-turn. One Wayfarer, the horse has kind of moved up, a 3 or 4 time winner. Still has to work through a seam here.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. When you walk out of the gates like that and then you get rushed up there, luckily this one didn't get rushed up right to the front, held just enough in reserve. I mean, what a gutsy boy here.
Certainly didn't look like, a 2-year-old firster. Just look at the size of this guy, too.
Yeah, he's got some honchos on him.
Yeah, doesn't he? And just kicks away, mild hand ride late. So what I'm saying is they got away with it there. Nobody jumped in maiden third. Took a lot of play that day, 9-2. Lasix going on, a little freshening. The works, I'm not a huge fan, but, string a bullets would appear to be very good over at Pimlico. Why not 12-1 morning line? And there is some speed in here. So even if a little hesitation at the break again, just be some patience and make that move. I think definitely some improvement. They're protecting here Rising Sun Racing Stables and Claudio Gonzalez.
Well, and here's the thing too, Keith. That effort last time out on the inside had to in a big field had to wait a long time in those gates, and I think that's essentially what happened last time out. It just got sleepy coming out of the gate, got too comfortable in the gates there. Where this horse is placed, going to be a little bit easier. About having to wait in the gates, so we won't have to wait as long with this one.
It's got a sibling too that's touched, I think, lower 80s. Recently, might have won a 4-year-old, so it's gotten better as maturity has set in. So play harder, maybe a touch of a reach, but that was good. You just don't see firsters kind of overcome that adversity in a big field like that. Catahoula Moon, certainly a 2-time winner in this group. Ran into point doing that was the horse Kieran Wright claimed, and it stepped up to run good in a stake in the Miracle Wood. Yeah, excused out of the break, was able to kind of get inside and make that move. Consistently running fast enough, and 6 furlongs, perfect spot to kind of move right into the pace. Because I think Prado Road, El Divino Nino, a couple of these, they will be battling. And Catahoula Moon will be stalking, maybe making that first move in front of my top selection.
Why not? You also go with the 4 and the 2 square slice, and the new rail horse had to have him, John Salzman Sr., Gene Bursino.
I'll talk about the 2 first. You've got this one third. I got a 4. I thought this horse ran very well. Second off the claimant with the blinkers on. Was just a little keyed up. Maybe they'll adjust some things. They kind of got caught in behind horses and checked sharply heading past the 5/8 around the 4.5. Tried to sit and wait it again. Made that move inside at 7. Just to maybe, not as flat, but was trying. I think back at 6, again, this horse has that move, has a sharp move within him.
Yep.
Good move with the blinkers on. We've seen Salzman have luck with this. Had to have him. Another one, 8-1 morning line with Bursino.
Let's have it. 5-7-4-2 for Keith there in race number 8. And race number 9 is our feature, a restricted allowance, going 2 turns on the dirt for the 4-year-olds. And up, no scratches here. Keith, you go with Disputed Claim. Thank you for putting this horse as your top selection. Mikey Durales, Javian Toledo, because I was still looking at this race.
Well, you don't have them anywhere,
morning.
so I don't know. You're going to make me look like the fool, huh?
No. I was looking at this. I just was still looking at this race this morning, saying, where do I fit this horse? He belongs here. He needs to be respected here. But I'm just trying to see if I can, clinch a little bit of value in others.
I've seen Victim of the Night and other Durales training be able to kind of stretch out, sprint the route, and get it done. Did it at the 1-turn mile, if I'm not mistaken. This third in a 3-horse field last time out. Not good. Shoved along, chased, but really good horse, though. Arden's lucky to be. I think this horse is going to be tied on today from the inside.
Yes.
Okay. The speed of the speed, when I really break it down, unless sports editor comes out of the clouds there. I don't know. I think he's quicker than Delish Vita. So let's try to get to the front and control things. We've seen this horse dictate at 7/8. And he looked like a horse, a little extra ground given the right flow. You can, as Bill Passmore used to say, you can fool him the first time.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to fool Disputed Claim the first time going long.
And here's the thing. He does have that ability to come from off of the pace. You just have to go 3 back. That's all you need to see as well. So versatility in Disputed Claim. Keith, let's talk about your second selection. On the number 2, let's take a look at Delice Vita from last time out for Phil. Michael Sanchez takes the call now.
Yeah, 29% the last 30 days for Phil Capuano. So pay attention. The horses are running well. Malin Wild we'll talk about off the claim. But Delish Vita, a little bobble at the break. I thought he was maybe going to be able to clear this field. He wasn't. Frightlin was super sharp. He stayed in the battle with that one a long, long way. Just a fade very late. There's Giordani, who we're going to see again today, get the benefit, and he rallies up. So Delish Vita, I still like him better than Giordani today. I would think he would love a spot if sports editor is fresh and goes to sit right in behind. I think he wants a target. I think a target would be good for Delish Vita today. But look at some of the company. Very good effort against a 2 other than. Now we're back in against the State Bred, just like it was last time. Just caught a hot horse in Franklin.
Oh, absolutely. I'm seeing everything that you're seeing as
Okay.
well. The number 5, Jardani, we just mentioned. We just saw Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez, of course. Again, you mentioned it kind of benefited from the situation last
He
time out.
did.
Just a tick.
You know what you're going to get from him. He doesn't have any speed. He's going to have to settle and grind.
Right.
And, you know, if they come back a little bit, so be it. He still runs consistently and, you know, fast enough, doing just his own thing from the back of the pack. If they come back a little bit, yes, he can kind of get over the top late. Is he going to blow by anybody? I don't think so. But Sports Editor is the horse that intrigues me. You're looking at his races, you know, big efforts on the turf. But this is going to be off of a break, first Lasix on the dirt. You got a veteran trainer in Allard that knows his horses, for his boys. This is interesting. This horse on the dirt ran against Runaway Jack, who's, I think, won a open or a 3 other than allowance. So he's run against some decent horses on the dirt. The works at Pimlico, really, again, I'm trusting, look really, really good. So it's just a new shooter here. Yeah, just a new shooter here. That'll be interesting to see what you kind of get out of a Sports Editor. I'll key around the 2 insides, although we're not going to get a ton of price.
Absolutely. Had some trouble coming back into the swing of things in May on dirt debut last year. So they just cut to the chase. Hey, this horse is a router horse, obviously prepping up for turf season, but you have to respect him. 1, 2, 5, 7 for Keith there in race number 9. Race number 10 to claiming 12-5, 2 turns as well. Distance of the day, scratch in the 5, dry humor for these girls 4 and up. Keith, you would go with the number 6, looking for Water. Bruno, Carlos, it lines up well here.
It's just like, first off, the claim stat that just jumps right out at you. Bruno Tesoro, this horse has had some issues. Really no chance 2 races back. Tried to make a little run, but was impeded at the break. I go back to the, the 4-back race? Yeah, never done. Okay, she's able to kind of get close to that one. Some of this pace does come out of it, but as sharp as his barn has been and off the claim, horses are running well. Ninja Obaro, we got again today. You know, I think he could or she could make amends. She's been behind Mo Tuff and some of these others of late, so she's got the style though to get this distance in the nightcap. Mo Tuff video spotlight horse here. Steve Churkop with some live runners today. It's a good little effort. Not the biggest filly, but she's got a little grit to her in here, and she's going to have to kind of work that inside out. Was able to get in between horses. I think it's top of the stretch. But at the mile distance, good. Stop the Cap just ran lights out that particular day to win off. I think the number was a 67, so pretty salty for the 2 in life fillies and mares. But willing to the wire, a challenge here for Mo Tuff. Good spot towards the inside. We're good there in that spotlight. I know we're running a little bit short of time, so I'll take her into the mix as well. 6-3-1 out of luck. Yeah, Tishan Tyrant, I believe, is going to probably go ahead and try to dictate like she did last time out.
As I would agree with you on that. 6-3-1-2. There are picks here for this morning show. Let's go to the lightning round. Let's dive into those picks a little bit. Keith, best bet, race number 4. The number 2, 9-5, Princess Mayfair, Stephen Churkop, Hernandez. You had that nice little stat for us earlier.
Yeah, we had the blinker stat back on. It was good. It was high. Lasix coming back on. Has been running against really crack fillies of late up in New York. So I think she breaks well, bounce to the front. I think can control things with Julio Hernandez here at the 2 turns.
And value play comes at a nice price of 12-1 in race number 8 on the number 5. Play harder, Gonzalez Torrealba.
Well, you can see horses make big jumps, 2-3. We're off a lengthy break. This horse did not look like a 2-year-old physically when watching that race. Hopefully mentally he's a little bit better from the break standpoint. You talked about it, had to sit there a long time in a big field, but he had multiple gears within that race. Take a shot with a big number here.
Looking at 1 2-year-old to another, of course, the Ocala Breeders' March 2-year-old in training sale was 12th to the 14th. 9 Maryland breds went through the ring. 8 sold, average of 109. and a median of 57,500, a little bit higher than last year's average. Of course, this one was bred by Dark Hollow Farm, sold to Ammerman Racing, of course, consigned by Kerry Frommer. That one fetched a price of, as you can see on the screen, 30 grand. This one is a half, sold to Hillwood for 87. This one's a half brother to Bet You by Golly. The dam is a half sister to stakes winners Dionysius and Joy. The Colt's third dam, of course, Safe at the Plate, is a half-sister to Maryland-bred legend and Racing Hall of Famer Safely Kept and graded stakes winner and sire Partners Hero.
Okay.
There we have it.
Yeah.
So, Keith, you'll go and take a look at some of the talent that's going to be coming from the Smith barn. So we talk about the 2-year-old and training sales. Keith is going to see some live action down at the Ellerly Trials there in South Carolina.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, I remember seeing that at the yearling show, that horse that just sold for $300,000. Yeah, Dark Hollow, I think, it got it. And bred it. And then Hillwood, I believe, bought it, and they must have looked, man.
87.
Yeah, nice score there for $300,000. But that was a good looking horse over there.
We fully expect tips
from
the trials and coming back onto the show.
I can't give out that information.
You won't, because you don't. You're gonna gatekeep for us there, and we will go to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches.
All right. Good luck, everybody.